Welcome back to Sound 101. We are starting a brand new season with two very special guests. I'm still Andrew from Deity Microphones. We're shooting an interview outdoors, so let's get started. Well, we are excited to be back, and now we are in a new kind of environment because we're in this backyard and we have been tasked to shoot an outdoor interview with Raineen here, and Paul is jumping in to be our audio expert today to teach us everything we need to know from the beginning microphones to the pro setup on how to do an interview outdoors. Before we dive into touching gear, let's talk about environment. Why is shooting outdoors so hard?
Well, Andrew, the first thing that I do before I get to set is I'm going to check for any weather complications. I'm going to be checking for wind, rain, and I'm going to bring the tools that I need to get good sound under those sorts of conditions. The second thing I'm going to check for, is there any airplanes nearby? Is there going to be like a freeway nearby? Am I going to be able to hear a lot of exterior noise that's going to disturb the quality of the audio?
Makes sense. Is there anything about the environment of the location that you consider?
Definitely. Is there going to be anything on set that's going to baffle the wind and do me a favor? Is there going to be any sort of like refrigerators or loud machines that run on a cycle that may just kind of, jump into the audio randomly?
Talking about, machines jumping in. We have a pool right here.
Yep.
This thing could be kicking on at any given moment. We have to worry about that. We have to think about that pool filter over there, this jet over here, that fountain out back that could kick on. So we have a challenging location. We have a camera microphone that is maybe not the most professional for a sit-down interview. Why is this a problem?
The first problem that I see here is that we're going to be really far away from our talent. Typically with onboard camera microphones, you're going to probably be within the 2 feet range as a maximum.
So that classic vlog length from the, look
Definitely.
Is kind of our best operational range. And 8 feet, it's safe to say, is not in that range.
Yeah, because you're going to be picking up a lot of like exterior noise and noise that it's just not going to sound professional really at this distance. You're going to want to get your microphone very close to your subject. And if you really like the shot that you have, it's okay because we got a solution. You can get something like this tripod right here and you can position it over the head of your talent. And you can maintain that, maybe medium wide shot while also still getting great audio with your onboard camera microphone.
So we're going to remote this to there. How are we going to catch it though back up to the camera?
Well, we're going to have a long 3.5 millimeter TRS cable like this that's going to go from the microphone to the camera.
Okay, awesome. So I'll take care of this if you want to start setting that up.
Sounds good.
Great. So what we're going to do here is just remote the whole thing, essentially making this cable a lot longer. And in that environment, it's going to be also a lot easier to edit in post. You don't have to worry about syncing any audio. It's still connected right to the video file. When you hit record, you're rolling sound at the same time. That's really simple. So I just want to take a second real fast to talk more about TRS cables. I think it's easy to kind of look at them as like, well, it's a cable. You just go to Amazon, you buy the cheapest one. That's all you got to do, right? Hold up, it gets a little bit more complicated. So at this particular shoot, you notice we talked about the big giant motor. That puts out something called EMI. So magnetism from the electricity from a motor can get a hum into your audio cables. And whenever you run anything longer than just a couple of feet, you have a shot of also picking up RFI. RFI on a film set could either be wireless microphones or your cell phone in your pocket. And in order to prevent both of those, we are buying a special kind of cable called a double shielded cable. This diagram here shows you that the individual cables are shielded as well as the jacking itself has a shield. Now the cable we're using today, they like to classify it as triple shielded. What is that third shield? Well, it's nylon on the outside of the jacket to make sure it's just durable. So when you are shopping for a TRS to TRS cable to replicate this on your shoot, look for a triple shielded cable. Now that we know about TRS cables, let's get back to our setup. And of course, this microphone does have a 1/4, 20, and 3/8 mount on the bottom of this thing. So we're just gonna go right to that little ball head. So I'm just gonna spin it on. Now, Paul, you're taking care of the cable, right?
Yes.
So I've got a little ball head here so we can tilt this thing, so that way it gives us more positioning than just going right to a stand. Ball heads, you can pick them up on Amazon for like, I don't know, like $7, $10, not a whole lot. The stand that Paul is using, I picked up on eBay. I think it was like $40, but we also found it on Amazon. This is one that we used in that video a while back. Info card is right up here, so if you want to watch that video, $100 audio kit. Essentially, we're expanding it and we're bringing it outdoors. To demonstrate the improvements of our boom pole setup, let's give a little listen to what it sounded like before when it was on our camera and 8 feet away from our talent.
My favorite breakfast when I go to brunch, definitely eggs and bacon and hash browns.
Now let's listen to our boom pole setup.
When I go out to brunch, I definitely need eggs, bacon, and hash browns.
So to kind of recap what we just did here, we spent $10 whole on a cable. We spent $40 whole on a stand. And we just took our on-camera microphone, which traditionally, you know, great for B-roll, not great for sit-down interviews, and we've made it an audio beast in this outdoor interview setup. I mean, $50 improvement, and I think the improvement is worth more than $50 whole. One of the benefits of being outdoors for your interview is the environment. I mean, look at this place. It's a gorgeous pool. So let's show off the pool in the interview. Let's have the talent walk around and show us off why we're shooting outdoors to begin with. So what are we gonna do, Paul?
We're gonna get a wireless lavalier like this, and we're gonna have our talent here clip it onto her shirt, and then we're gonna plug it into a transmitter.
So Paul, she's gonna go away, clip it to her shirt, have the cable back at her hand, but where are we gonna put the transmitter? I mean, I don't remember seeing a waistline on a dress.
Yeah, well, fortunately, URSA, a great company, has developed a cool little strap like this that actually goes right around your ankle. They also have thigh straps and other little gizmos that can pretty much get a transmitter on any kind of wardrobe.
Now, if you are a first-time buyer of something like a transmitter strap, we have a couple of tips for you. And that is, buy the thigh strap, not the ankle strap. Why? Well, an ankle strap works great for going on an ankle. But the day you need to go to a thigh, you can't make this one longer. And that extra couple of inches that this one allows is always gonna be there. And if you need to use it on an ankle, you just double it up a little bit. It can always get smaller, not a big deal. Furthermore, we really like this rubber on the actual thigh strap, which prevents it from sliding down the thigh. And if you're on an active actor going to their ankle, this is going to hug their skin super nice and tight and not budge. So if you are a first-time buyer, totally check out the thigh strap. And for those who already own a couple of these, you may want to get a specialty one if you're having to deal with a situation like skinny jeans. Less material is better. Now that we're done here, let's go back to the pool.
First thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna find the mouth and feed your transmitter into it, like so.
There you go. You get all your access to the ports on the top. And when you're completely done, you just kind of tuck it all in, right?
Yep. So the last thing that you're gonna wanna do is completely tuck it in there, because the cool thing about these URSA straps is like it has a little lip that is gonna like protect a lot of the connection points from sweat, because even a little bit of sweat getting in there can damage the transmitter. It can also damage the quality of the audio. So what I'm gonna do is, first thing, I'm just gonna plug it on in. Go ahead, make sure I'm tightening it up. And then I'm just gonna go down to the ankle, just like so. Make sure it's tight. Is that too tight for you?
Yeah.
Awesome, cool.
What else do we need to do when we're miking up someone?
Well, you're gonna wanna make sure your mic placement is perfect, and you're also gonna listen in and check if there's any sort of clothing rustles. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and check. I'm gonna make sure, right now we got a necklace here. That could wrap up against the mic. You could hear the chain on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna position it directly in the center, right here.
Okay.
It's gonna be away from everything. She's not gonna hit it. It's nice up there and tall. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a little bit of foam, because this is gonna protect it from wind.
My favorite part about this house is the backyard. I mean, look at this pool. It's perfect for summer, being outdoors. My kids love it. They love inviting their friends over and playing in the pool all day.
Well, after listening to the on-camera mic and then listening to the lavalier, I think the difference is pretty obvious. You want to use a lavalier, plus all the benefits it gives your talent to walk around and be in the outdoor environment that you want to do. Now, just one quick key though. If you are gonna do it, make sure the lavalier pack is hidden. We were using an ankle strap, but we were shooting a medium shot. If you are shooting an ultra wide to enjoy the outdoor environment for your interview, hide that pack. So wireless is a wonderful option if you want to stay mobile, but what happens if you want to do the best top tier gear available for a sit down interview? What's our options?
Well, I think this is the best option, is getting a microphone on a boom pole. And I think the first consideration that you're gonna have when seeking an option like this is choosing the proper boom pole.
What are our options there?
Well, first of all, there's either a cabled boom pole, which is gonna have an internal cable running through it, or you're gonna get a boom pole that doesn't have a cable in it. Next thing after that is you're gonna think about what kind of wind protection do you need? We're shooting outdoors, depending on the weather, you know, we might need something like this, which is a blimp with a wind jammer on top, a Zeppelin that's gonna protect against like really extreme wind.
So what's this stand setup we have back here?
Well, so we got a C-stand right here, and you're gonna love this because when you're using a C-stand, it's gonna free up your muscles to do something else, maybe to mix, maybe to check your camera. You're just gonna throw your boom right onto the C-stand. So as soon as you've got your C-stand set up, then you're gonna wanna check for shadows. So you're just gonna go ahead and kind of trace around the talent, find your shadows, and as soon as you found your shadows and you found a good place to put the boom microphone, that's when you're gonna wanna throw it onto the cradle of the C-stand.
We want to make sure we're not casting shadows. The sun real harsh coming in. We've got some diffusion, but you can definitely see when that big giant blimp is blocking the key light and not blocking the key light. So we don't want to block the key light because that's going to keep your camera operators much more happy with you, which will get you more phone calls in the future. So we're all set up here. Let's plug the HDTX into the back.
You got it.
And I think we just gonna kind of dial in our sound check, make sure the angle is above the head and a little bit forward. Make sure we're coming right into that apex of the chin and the top part of the chest. We're really gonna get the best sound quality in that area. One of the biggest challenges about shooting outdoors is making sure you know you have a problem. We can identify problems visually, but if you don't hear the problem, you don't know if you can conquer it or if you have conquered it with what you've already done. The best way to do that is to make sure you always bring a pair of headphones. I am shocked at how many people complain about bad audio, and then when I ask them what they were using to monitor their audio, they kind of go, I forgot my headphones. Now, they don't necessarily need to be big on-ear headphones like this. They could be in-ear monitors. I myself use in-ear monitors. One of the things that I can say about headphones is you need to be able to trust them. If you know what they always sound like, you know whether or not the audio you're getting in them is accurate to what you're recording. A good rule of thumb is if you're bringing audio gear to set, make sure one of those pieces is headphones. And for one last time, back to the pool. So we got everything set up. What's the last 10% that makes the difference in order to get great sound, not just good sound?
If you want to get great sound on set, the final thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to position the microphone in an area where it's rejecting a lot of the negative sound on set. So for example, on this set, we got a pool filter over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just position the microphone so that its tail is facing whatever we're trying to reject right now, because that's where you're going to get the most rejection. So I'm just going to put it at a 90-degree angle right here. I'm going to tighten it up, and I'm just going to have it right there so that it's rejecting everything that's behind it.
Wonderful. And if you're curious, what does this sound like? Here we go.
If I had to construct my own sundae, I would definitely have chocolate ice cream. I'm a huge chocolate fan. Chocolate ice cream, I have had chocolate covered strawberries in my sundae before, all mixed up with a little bit of vanilla ice cream and fudge.
So to wrap up this whole big giant masterclass concept video on shooting interviews outdoors, we've shown you how to take your on-camera microphone off camera and get much better audio. We also explored wireless lavaliers, which are a wonderful tool to free up the talent so they can get out of the chair and explore the outdoors, because that's one of the best part about shooting outside is the scenery. And of course, the biggest sit-down interview that has to happen, the one that's super important, we've shown you how to make sure you reject all the problems, all of the wind, all of the side noise, and use the most professional setup possible to get the best interview audio. That's gonna wrap up this episode for us. I'd like to thank Raineen here, as well as Paul, for joining us on this very special episode on how to do outdoor audio on location. If you've got a video topic that you want to tackle or you're having audio problems, drop them down in that comment section below. We're going to pull topics from there for future videos, so maybe your topic will be featured on a next episode coming up. If you do like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, you got to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when we post brand new videos here on this YouTube channel. I'm Andrew from Deity Microphones. Thank you for watching.